Tom King teases big things coming in the new Gods movie. Joker is competing in Venice. And rest in peace to the great Rutger Hauer. Today and much, much more on DC Movie News.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
Wow, you came in hot there.
Justice League. There are assembled the world's
Wonder Twin powers activate.
Form of slime.
Form of a saber-toothed tiger.
Form of...
See? I took yours. I became the tiger because you couldn't appreciate the animal powers you have. Now, you could be slime or a bucket of ice cubes.
I'm both. I am
Good
all
for you.
things. Form of universe.
You can't...
You don't know that.
You can't form...
Know. I can form the universe all I want.
But that... You can't, like, wish for infinite powers, okay? That's so
Yeah,
lame.
my wish is for more wishes. You better believe that's my first wish.
Taking my toys, going home. Welcome to DC Movie News, everyone. I'm Adam Gertler. Happy to be here. Happy to be talking about all things post-Comic-Con with the crown jewel of DC Movie News, Roxy Striar. There she is.
That is true. I am here. Here I am.
She has a mental block when it comes to the powers of the Wonder Twins, but other than that, she's got a really great grasp of the DC universe, so we will forgive her.
I think I've got a total grasp of the universe powers of the Wonder Twins that activate into form of landslide.
Trying to help you. I'm trying to help you, and you're diving into quicksand.
Eyeballs. Form of chin. I'm just naming things I see.
Well, you can keep thinking about that, but we have so many things to talk about.
That is so true because I went to San Diego Comic-Con. I was there with
She was at
all
Comcast.
of the... as Grammy calls it, how was Comcast. I was there at Comic-Con. So was our producer, Ryan, who's in the booth.
Ryan in the booth,
who
Comic-Con?
came down, and our very own Mikey Christmas was there. Mikey and I walked the floor together. Ooh, you know what? I have pictures of us outside the DC booth that I'll send to...
Oh, send them.
I'll send to Ryan now.
Ryan, can you put up a picture of yourself in the Flash costume?
You got it. I'll search that up right now.
Yo, were you sweating balls, Ryan?
You know, outside it was a little rough, but I powered through it. I was a superhero.
Oh, yes, you are. You're our very own superhero.
It was so much fun. Oh my gosh.
Was it your first Comic-Con?
First Comic-Con ever. I went all out with the Flash cosplay. And I just I had to go all out. I always have to go all out.
Where did you get the costume? Did you make it or find it?
So another show on the Popcorn Talk Network every Monday night is the Con Guys, and we had a special guest named Benny. I think his name's Herman, and he not Herman. I'm kidding. His name is Benny Barrett, and he does a lot of the big parties at Comic-Con. He had a totally awesome Mixer Volume 2, and he schedules all these big parties, and he had a Flash costume. He said I looked like the Flash, so he lent me his costume.
Wow.
His office is 2 blocks down the road, and I picked it up and got it.
And did you get to go to his party too?
I did get to go to the party, but I did pay for that.
Well, you got to pay for some things in life, Ryan.
True. Absolutely true.
All right, sending you the picture right now. There we go.
Okay.
I believe you. Slam my body down. Isn't that what you think every time somebody says okay? But let me tell you, Adam, you missed out this year because even though DC was not as prominent as they have been in previous years at Comic-Con.
At least Warner Brothers, the studio.
Warner Brothers Studio, exactly. Yeah. It was still awesome. They took over a new space on the convention floor, which usually they're more towards the middle, but now they had an entire corner area, and there were so many DC cosplays. DC was very, very prominent there in terms of fans.
May I ask, I know there was a DC Universe presence. Was that like on the floor as well? And did you see any panels that were associated with DC Universe?
I didn't go to any of the panels, but I did see that on the floor, and also our good friend Tiffany Smith was there doing a ton of DC Universe stuff, as well as Clark Wolf, and people were doing interviews from there, and I've been catching up on all of that stuff. This is the very dark, unedited picture of me and Mikey in front of the DC station booth.
Oh, shadowy. It's like you're in a Zack Snyder film or something like that.
Release the Snyder Cut. We're actually talking about that later on today. So
okay, well, yeah. The sentiment is not going anywhere; it's going stronger. One of the things I wanted to bring up, we brought it up briefly before, and I guess the dude at Cosmic Book News, he's got a lot of ideas. There's a lot of rumors on Cosmic Book News, so we have to take these with a grain of salt because other people aren't really reporting on them. But he has predicted correctly some other kind of big breaks, so I wanted to at least mention them. One was just this whole idea of J.J. Abrams setting up shop at Warner Brothers. The fact that J.J.'s wife, who's an editor, is also a big supporter of the new head of the Warner Brothers studio that just replaced Sujihara. And that, in fact, that replacement
I let you hang a little too long.
Thank you.
Sorry, Fred.
Because the Asian last name, I almost said Hamada, and it's Sujihara. Yeah. But you see how I've already forgotten the name. I've canceled him in my brain because I'm so woke as 2019. So there's a lot of talk that JJ is going to have a lot of influence in Warner Brothers. I mean, this is over a $500 million deal. And specifically, there's strong rumors that J.J. Abrams is going to be taking over Superman and Green Lantern, which...
If this is true, how do you feel, Adam?
I feel... it's... Okay, so...
I'm hearing mixed.
I'm mixed because he's done it with Star Trek. He's done it with Star Wars, and he's done it with Mission Impossible, and they're great and they're successful. But like, are they the freshest? Star Trek fans are kind of mixed about the Star Trek, even though he made it really popular. Star Wars fans are definitely mixed, even though he made it incredibly popular and successful. So I'm happy on the sense that this guy has such a success record that I think he will figure out the way to do it. And he's done space so many times. The idea of J.J. Abrams involved in a Green Lantern makes me really excited. And also cracking the code. I'm excited, but I'm optimistic. I'm not going to be negative. But put it this way, I'm not as excited as the idea of James Gunn being in the DC universe, because I feel his voice is a little bit more signature. But I think that there's no one smarter than J.J., and there's no one who's been more successful than this guy in the past 15 years.
J.J. has legitimately nothing to prove anymore, and I think that's a little bit of what you're talking about, Adam, is that somebody like a James Gunn, or even, like a Taika, or somebody who is... Gunn's a little more known at this point, but somebody who's coming up, they take this on with every fiber in their being because they want to kick butt. This is make or break. This is do or die for them. And for JJ, I hear you, because he's been able to financially help a ton of franchises. And while I'm a huge JJ fan, his work is pretty split sometimes. So I hear you, and how this might just be another notch on his belt, as opposed to somebody like a Gunn who has a lot to fight for still.
So some people in the chat room don't believe it all because it comes from Comic Book News, which could totally be valid. But Eon001...
Do you continue to say Cosmic Book?
Yeah, this one is Cosmic Book News, not Comic Book News. Comic Book News reports much more valid stories, to be fair. And we get a lot of our stories from Comic Book News.
Yeah, because I thought that this was Comic Book News.
This was Cosmic Book News. Okay. But as I was saying, Eon001, he says beggars can't be choosers, and he's just fine. But then Zeno Hour, our regular lover, says, dude, he never got anything right before. Also, that site dabbles in alt-right crap. Okay, well, I'm certainly not interested in that kind of business. But that being said, J.J. Abrams is going to be at Warner Brothers, whether Cosmic Book News knows anything or not. Oh, yeah. Oh, and it has been reported by Comic Book News, too, but they do reference Cosmic Book News in it, I believe. This is something that I think is worth talking about, guys. Where are the sources? JJ's at Warner Brothers DC. It's worth playing the speculation game at this point, okay?
People are talking about it. So where there's smoke, sometimes there's fire.
A lot of times there's fire.
And sometimes there's Adam making sausage.
Yeah, and a lot of times,
don't know.
Remember how long we talked about Ben Affleck is not Batman, and very early on, certain people were like, he's gone, because you can read body language.
And other people... Mikey pointing over there.
We're like, no.
He's never gone. And then there were the me's of the world who were split.
Yeah. And despite everything that's happening with Warner Brothers and all their recent success, people like me, who's been doing this show with you for a long time, are
4
still
years.
confused as hell as to what their approach is.
Very confused.
We want to give a shout out to Rutger Hauer, very famous genre actor
Very well known for I think 140 credits or something like that, Adam. Crazy.
Blade Runner, big deal. Was he the bad guy in I Come in Peace with Dolph Lundgren as well?
I don't know. I never saw it.
I don't know. He was in a lot of genre movies. I loved seeing him make a comeback in Batman Begins. Great role. He puts Bruce Wayne down like a little bitch boy early on in the film, and then Morgan Freeman comes back and gives it right back to him. It's one of the greatest callbacks, and it's a great role for Rutger Hauer, and he's in a Batman movie, and he's a very beloved guy. He passed away too young at the age of 75. That's just so crazy to me that, like, 75...
And they said a quick illness, something like that. A quick illness is what they were referring to.
It's just crazy that I just saw, like, Mick Jagger jumping around on stage at 75, and then, like, this guy just passes away. It's like... It's really sad.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, this happens all the time, but like remember last year or the year before when I was interviewing Florence Henderson and she was just so young, so seeming, so vivacious, and then it was like a week later she had passed away. Which I guess things happen, but I don't know what the quick illness was at this point.
I don't know either. I just wanted to give a quick shout out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you did.
Some of you might have seen that Henry Cavill was at Comic-Con promoting The Witcher. Did you see the trailer for Witcher?
I did.
How does it look?
Looks pretty good, actually.
He's jacked as all get out in it.
You know that Henry Cavill has not been my absolute favorite Superman, but I like Henry Cavill a lot, and I think that this will be a great project for him. I'm excited about it.
So pretty much in talking to this fan, they obviously got to talking about Superman, and the idea is like...
Shocked. How did they do that?
So he said he left the role because they weren't doing anything with it. We also kind of know that there was a movie left on the contract. So this left the role sounds like what we heard about Shazam. It sounds very consistent that, yes, he was going to be doing that. If I'm reading the tea leaves here.
So this is what Roken, if that's how you pronounce it, the person who talked to him said.
Roken.
He said so this is the quote. Quote, he said he still wants to play Superman, wants a sequel to Man of Steel, wants to explore how it affects someone with absolute power. So many stories to tell. What makes him tick? End quote.
I gotta be honest. At this point, I would say 90%, 98%. We never see Cavill as Superman again. And I'm gonna jump on the JJ bandwagon. I think we're not gonna see Superman for a couple years. I think he's gonna be
what's
rebooted.
A couple of years?
Maybe 5.
Predict the year we see Superman again.
2026.
That's 2026 is when we see a Superman movie or Superman in a movie. Do you get my distinction?
Yes. I'm saying 2026
is the year that we see a Superman movie.
Superman in a movie.
Superman in a movie. Okay, 2026. Wow. We're not even in the 2020s yet.
I know.
It's a long time from now. Ryan?
Who thinks I'm crazy?
Ryan, what year do you think it is before we see Superman in a movie again?
Maybe it's 2024, but I think it's 2026.
Ryan doesn't care anymore about it.
If it's put it this way,
right now.
You already have movies.
No,
we know which movies are coming out through 21.
You can't Google it. I'm asking your opinion. What year do you think we'll see Superman in a movie? So 2024?
I think 2024.
Or 2023?
2024, and I don't think it's going to be Cavill.
Okay, chat roll, what do you guys think? 2026 is a long time, but you know how long it takes these movies to be announced? And, like, when was The Rock announced as Black Adam again? I was in high school when The Rock was announced as Black Adam. I remember I just had my first kiss, and I was driving to get malteds with Peggy Sue.
Peggy! All right, here's what people in the chat are saying. By the way, in case you guys didn't know, we are live on YouTube every single Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Popcorn Talk Network's YouTube channel. Ryan says, sadly, Cavill is gone. Neil says, it's kind of weird. WB never did anything more, which I think a lot of people thought about Superman. Then we've got Kame. I think a Superman movie will come out around 2023. The Real YouTube says 2025. Zeno Hour says Cavill is still attached, but he's in limbo right now. I don't know what WB is doing. I think that's for sure for all of us. Ryan 2025, Jenna 2024, King Sport Cow 2024, 2023 from Wes. I definitely am not seeing anything before that year, before 2023. We've got no comments there. So, Drizzy says 2022. Says Kevin. I think 2022 would be a little insane, don't you, Adam? 2022.
2022. No way. Yeah. 2022. There's no way we could see him in a movie because I couldn't imagine what movie that would be.
KC is guessing that Superman returns in 2023 in a Supergirl movie.
Oh, hot. Interesting take.
Hot take.
Yeah, it's just the problem is that they haven't had real just like they almost always have success with Batman. They have not had a lot of success with Superman since the original ones. They really haven't since the first two films. Unfortunately, it has not been. Man of Steel was probably the biggest hit, and they kind of fumbled that sequel.
Yeah.
Not doing the proper sequel.
Can I take us off topic for 1 second?
Please.
Because somebody in the chat just asked us, and I've been getting this question a lot. I'm curious your thoughts on it. Just briefly, Max says, when's the Birds of Prey trailer coming? What do you think about that? Movie coming in February of next year. When is the trailer?
Whoa, God, that's got to be really soon. I think it's crazy that there was nothing released around the time of Comic-Con.
Do you think it's possible that they wait until the Joker to release the first trailer, which is in October, for a February movie?
It's like 4 months?
Or do you think that they do it in front of the kitchen, which is going to be in August?
I think we're going to see a Birds of Prey trailer within a month.
So in front of the kitchen, possibly?
When is that open?
August, like second week of August or something.
Yes. Or whatever the other Warner Brothers films they have opening this summer. Do you know what else they have going on this summer?
I'll look right now.
It's August 9th for the kitchen.
It's got to be. Again, we've heard some rumors about Birds of Prey that some people were not thrilled. Did you hear that a couple of weeks ago?
I'm hearing a couple of those rumors about the Joker. I'm not hearing.
You are hearing those about Joker.
I am hearing some rumors about a Joker script being very messy, but I don't know.
Okay, well, we'll talk about Joker in a second. Before we get into Joker stuff, I did want to mention a couple of things. One, Tom King came out post Comic-Con. Obviously, I got to imagine a guy like Tom King is very busy at Comic-Con. And then he teases big things coming for this New Gods movie. It's happening. It's moving forward. He and Ava DuVernay are getting to work on a script that a lot of people believe will adapt some of his Mr. Miracle story, will feature Mr. Miracle, Big Barda, of course, Orion. One would assume Dark Side and Apocalypse, Granny Goodness.
Let this be the movie that now there's no changes about. It just is steady. We know who's working on it. Let her direct.
This is a movie this is one of those no expectation movies.
Exactly.
Nobody knows nothing about New Gods.
Nobody knows nothing about
Nobody
New
knows
Gods.
nothing about these New Gods.
What do you know about New Gods? Nothing.
I mean, a great filmmaker like DuVernay with a guy that knows the material like Tom King. I know it doesn't always work out, that guys, but
I know.
It could be like that dude from The Matrix right now. This is a very exciting time.
This is why I wanted Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck to create together so bad.
Yeah, but every time it just the soup never worked with Jeff Johns. We all thought he was going to be the secret.
The soup never worked with Ben Affleck apparently either.
Oh, okay. No, here it is. Zeno Hours predicting Birds of Prey, It Chapter 2. I agree with that one. It is the big one.
But It is not until September, and you said that within the month.
I could be wrong.
It's September 6th. So here are the Warner Brothers releases. The Kitchen is August 9th. Then they've got Blinded by the Light August 16th. It Chapter 2.
Revved up like a deuce in the roar of the night. That was for you, Ryan.
September 6th. The Goldfinch, September 13th. Then we've got The Joker, October 4th.
It's got to be coming soon. It's a February release.
What is this untitled Ben Affleck movie, October 18th?
I hope it never gets a title. I want to see it without the title.
Ryan, you know what that is?
I want to see it without the title, and I want to be totally surprised.
You do know?
Ivan Soto is correcting me for something I said on another show the other day.
What'd you say?
I forgot that was the Phantom Stranger. Same Phantom Stranger that met Swamp Thing in the swamp. I appreciate that. Ivan, remind me when we get to TV time. We'll definitely mention Swamp Thing because that's almost over. So the cinematographer, what were you going to say, Ryan?
I found the Ben Affleck film. You said it's for October, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Gavin O'Connor film, who did The Warrior,
Oh,
Miracle on Ice, or Miracle.
And
yeah,
the
it's
Accountant.
called
Yeah, The
Torrance.
Accountant.
And he did The Accountant. Former basketball all-star lost family foundation in a struggle with addiction, attempts to come back by becoming a coach of a desperate, ethnically mixed high school basketball team. So it's a sports film.
Hoosiers. Little Hoosiers much.
Huh.
Sounds very Hoosiersy.
But it has no title yet?
It's called Torrance.
Oh.
Oh, that's where my parents live. Batman has added the Rogue One cinematographer Greg Fraser. Also did Zero Dark 30.
What do you think about him?
I like the look of both of those films very much.
So do I.
Rogue One is probably my favorite of the new Star Wars movies.
Wowie wowie.
As I digest and think about them.
Rogue One.
Okay. Again, to form a movie is a very esoteric concept. It would be hard to visually express how a character would become a movie.
Form of hair elastics that make your hair go in the three-way.
Okay, is there a name for that? A hair splitter or something?
Yep.
It's an inanimate object. I'm gonna allow it.
Okay,
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you be that hair thing.
Victory.
And I would love to think how you can apply that to win some sort of superhero versus supervillain battle,
Thank
or
you.
maybe you're just helping someone else on date night,
I just boom. Boop, 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 boop.
and you're existing as this hair splitter.
Yeah, I am the hair splitter.
Yeah, you're not the
Boom.
person wearing it or anything like
No,
that.
I'm helping the world with it. So there's that.
Okay, so let's talk about this Joker film, okay?
Sure, if you want.
So, Roxy, you're implying that some people heard that it's all over the place. Warner Brothers obviously has some faith in it because it's debuting at the Toronto Film Festival, and it is one of 3 American movies competing in Venice.
I think here's what
3!
Here's
One
what's
of them is
been
Ad Astra with Brad Pitt, and the other one is a very indie film, I think.
I could not be more excited about this movie. And honestly, the people that I was speaking to who were saying the script had some issues were not the issues I was hearing were not things that I would have a problem with. It's already stuff that Todd Phillips has come out and addressed, which is that this is not pulling from the comics the way that people think it's going to. This is Todd Phillips' take on what a Joker story could be. And that's what's happening here. So people referring to these issues, the issues are that it's not what they wanted. But
Right.
I'm okay with Todd Phillips taking the creative liberty to do whatever he wants with this project. It's his movie, and I'm okay with that. And he's borrowing a character and creating a story.
You bring up a really interesting concept when it comes to adapting this kind of material, and I'd like to address this if we could, because Mike Kalinowski has often said that The Dark Knight is not a great Batman movie. It's a great, detective movie or crime movie or whatever. I disagree with him all over the place because I think it's a freaking amazing adaptation of Batman. Is it exactly the animated series? No. Everything is an interpretation, guys, if it's not a comic book. Now, if the Joker movie comes out and it takes nothing from the comics and it sucks, I'm thinking Catwoman, then I'm going to blame that. However, if it tells
If it rocks.
if it's a good movie, how am I going to say it's not a good movie because it didn't adhere to the comics? You see what I'm saying? It's
100%.
How can you could be cautious. Might be pessimistic about the potential. Hearing that, even me hearing they're gonna relate Bruce Wayne to Joker. Spoilers potentially somehow in the film. That sounds wacky to me. However, you're giving me one of my favorite actors ever in a film related to Joker in a comic. Which have you read the metal Batman stuff? None of that it's all new takes. So who cares, right?
That's what Casey in the chat says. It's Elseworlds, people.
That's
So
what's
we're
great.
creating
We got
something-
Elseworlds.
Exactly. Eon001 says issues were probably not enough Batman, but this was never sold as being a Batman movie.
There is no Batman in this movie.
So not enough Batman.
Save your money right now. Batman, you're not going to see a single. You might not even. Maybe you'll get one Prince song. That's the closest it's going to get.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah,
You think?
I know.
Really?
I can't talk about it. Can't talk about it.
What are you
I know a guy at Cosmic Book News. That's all. I don't know you. You don't know me.
Damn.
Bat dance! Get off the phone call! Bat dance! Vicky Vale, Bruce Wayne. I like boom 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 boom. Go with a smile.
Form of Prince.
Yes! You form Prince, and I'll be the new power generation.
Whoa.
Yes! We just nailed the Wonder Prince. We just solved the Wonder,
Wonder
Twins
Prince.
film.
Wonder Twins Prince.
The Wonder Prince movie. Oh my God, what a mashup. Who's got the rights? I think Prince is a Warner Brothers artist.
Moving forward from
Moving
that.
forward, one of the producers from Joker, Michael, was it Michael Uslan? Yes, says that it's like it's unlike any comic film you've ever seen before.
Which I don't doubt.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like it's taking a lot of risks, and that will either reap great rewards or not. But I'm not surprised by it's unlike anything we've seen before. That seems pretty obvious. The next part of the quote was, Todd Phillips is a filmmaker there, and Todd has an incredible vision for this. All I can tell you is, in my humble opinion, the world is getting a little oversaturated with comic book movies and TV everywhere we turn. So I think that's why
You have
he's
to
saying
find
he's
different ways
going
of
in a
doing
different
it.
way. Yeah.
So Michael Uslan, I don't know what sweetheart deal he came up with, but he's one of these guys who's attached to every Batman movie. He's not a creative on any of the films, but he is an executive producer going back to the Michael Keaton films, right? And so he also commented on the Todd Phillips, the Matt Reeves film, and the Battinson casting. You know, people were asking him about that, and he was just like, he's heard backlash from almost every casting. Ever about Batman. I imagine maybe George Clooney didn't get that much backlash. I don't know, but
maybe he should have.
Maybe Schumacher should have, or somebody should have. Yeah, it's going to be different. There are also some new images from the Joker. Did we show those yet, Ryan?
Up right now.
There were some new images from Joker. So, Roxy, what are your thoughts on it? You're hearing some people saying it's all over the place. Do you think you're going to enjoy it? Do you think people are going to enjoy it? And do you really think it is, as they are predicting, an awards contender?
Yes. Yes, I do think I'm going to enjoy it. Yes, I do think people are going to enjoy it. That doesn't mean the vast majority of people, but I think the people who want to enjoy this, if it's a great movie, they will. The people who are going in thinking this is going to be just like one of the comic books they read are not going to enjoy it. And yes, I think it's a legitimate awards contender, because if it wasn't, why would they be doing this? Why would they be going to TIFF and to Venice and legitimately making it like that? I mean, Todd Phillips is smarter than that. So if it wasn't a legitimate awards contender, why would they be doing this?
I agree. And Kevin J. Price, I want to thank you. He's got a little facts on Uslan, the producer. Got the producing rights back in the 70s, 80s when no one cared, and had it ever since.
Facts.
So I wonder if, I don't know exactly when Warner Brothers acquired DC Comics. I bet it was before that, right? Because Warner Brothers probably acquired DC. Yes. Because that's insane. Because if Warner Brothers had DC at that point, wow, so this guy had to be cut in on everything.
March 1989.
What? When Warner Brothers acquired
In March
DC?
1989, Warner Communications merged with Time Inc., making DC Comics a subsidiary of Time Warner.
Oh my goodness. So this is the thing that happened. This happened with Stan Lee. This is why Marvel doesn't have rights to their
So
stuff.
for as long as
It was
I
the
have been
Wild
born,
West.
they have been there.
Yeah. Wow.
I got the new images up here, you guys.
Oh,
These
yes.
are the ones I released this week. It looks like in the background of this one, you have Bill Camp's character in the back left on his shoulder, as well as Douglas Hodge, who's actually reportedly playing Alfred to the right there.
Interesting.
Very, very cool.
A lot of Alfred coming in 2019.
This is the famous subway scene, which extras were mistreated on.
Yeah, stuck in for a really long time. These pictures look great. Everything that's come out about this movie so far makes me excited. I'm excited about this.
I just saw the new Quentin Tarantino movie, and this is the next thing I'm excited about.
What did you think about that?
I thought it was super cool. I don't know if I would say it's one of his favorites, but his movies get better the more times you see him. It's hard to say. It didn't have, talking about Once Upon a Time in America, it didn't have
Hollywood.
That scene. Oh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's referencing Once Upon a Time in America.
Yeah.
It's a crazy good world, and I love Brad Pitt, and I can't wait for Ad Astra now.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Brad Pitt was incredible in it.
It was a great world to sink into.
And our DC girl, Margot Robbie, what did you think of her in it?
You know, it was great, but it wasn't like her story. She's just kind of like passing through this thing.
But how vocally did she nailed Tate vocally so perfectly. It was unbelievable. She's such an incredible actress. I can't wait for more Harley, more Margot in general.
Yeah, she is still just jaw-dropping. I don't understand. I don't understand how that happens. That's like the next level of evolution.
Yeah,
Margot
completely.
Robbie is the first in the next generation of evolution.
Agreed. She's evolved.
Here's another, grain of salt, guys. It's a comic book news rumor. It's also a likelihood. It's also something we've talked about, and I just want to hear what our lovely chat roll thinks about this. The concept of James Gunn coming right back to DC because he's got a lot of other plans and ideas after Guardians 3. To me, this makes sense because a lot of the original creatives, not just the stars, are kind of walking away from Marvel, right? Like the McFeelys, the Russos. Gunn is one of those guys. Obviously, Whedon is not really around anymore. So it would make sense that he would finish up his trilogy and move on. Foxy.
Do you think that Gunn feels any kind of resentment or bitterness towards Disney for what happened at this point? Because he probably only has positive things to say about Warner Brothers for stepping in when they did.
Yeah, but he also hasn't had a hit movie with Warner Brothers
totally,
yet.
but that's what I'm saying. I feel like he's going back to finish his hit franchise.
Yep.
And then is like, but okay, I did my job with Disney, and now I want to go make my name elsewhere.
I mean, I think there's probably a part of it, if I was him, that wants to make your name elsewhere to show that I could do it without you. But I also think he knows sort of how lucky he got in this whole situation. He played it right. I think, maybe some resentment. It's hard to say because I think if you're him, you also have to understand it wasn't like... It's very difficult for these executives to decide when people are getting canceled left and right, like huge celebrities and big movie stars. They had a knee-jerk reaction, but there was potentially some smoke there. I don't know. I don't think he harbors a tremendous amount of resentment.
Me neither. Adam, what would this look like? He comes back to DC and what?
I mean, if Suicide Squad's a hit, there's the future of that franchise. There is this talk about Dark Universe, right? Swamp Thing is canceled. They're not doing anything with Swamp Thing, especially after how good this series is. Like that Dark Justice League thing, whether it's called Justice League Dark, that is definitely a vein that they have yet to tap into.
I think he would be such a fun fit for Green Lantern. For our buddy cop type Green Lantern movie.
Yeah. I mean, and even working with like JJ as producer, like that's a combination. So I'm more excited with JJ as a producer with a great creative like that. Almost.
Wouldn't that be so fun?
That would be great. What would you guys? I really want to hear, chat roll. Anyone listening to the show, what do you want to see James Gunn do after Guardians 3 in the world of DC? What do you want? Do you want Dark Universe? Do you want Cosmic? Do you want him to do Blue Beetle? Do you want him to do Booster Gold? Or we find something like that? Like, where would this guy's talents be best used? I think it's great to have him in the sandbox, though. I'll tell you
Agreed.
that. And by sandbox, I'm referring to the DC film universe, not an actual
box of sand.
No.
Did you bring the pail?
Yeah, if it was a box of sand, you'd have a pail, you'd have a shovel, you'd have the shapes to make the castles things, a rake.
You ever make squand?
Oh, what is that?
I'll teach you.
Thank you.
I'm a great squand girl. Remember that.
Stop saying that word.
Squand. Squand.
Well, guys, did we have anything else? A couple of animated films announced at Comic-Con. Superman, Man of Tomorrow. Superman, Red Sun, which had him like if Superman was born in the communist, in the Soviet Union.
In Soviet Union. Probably just.
And I read Superman, Man of Tomorrow. I forgot which one that was. Which one was that about?
I don't know. I didn't read it.
Guys, Superman, Man of Tomorrow. But anyway, those are both also Elseworld stories being adapted. So while no live action Superman, we're going to have plenty of Superman animated. And you know what? We actually haven't... Yeah, we had Death of Superman. What am I saying? We got plenty of Superman animated films. I like more.
Where are you at with Batman Hush?
Is it out yet? Is it on DC Universe?
I don't know if it's there yet. I haven't seen it because I was waiting for it to drop on the app, and I don't believe it's there yet. I think that it's on Prime and all the places that you can.
I'm gonna get it when it's on DC Universe.
Ryan, have you checked out Hush yet?
I have not watched Hush yet. I know we had some coverage at Comic-Con, our own Ollie. So it's guys, it's right now. It's on YouTube and Amazon Prime and Vudu for $20. So it has been released. I know they had a screening at Comic-Con on the 20th, but we do have an interview with the director Justin Copeland on our AfterBuzz TV Red Carpets channel. So feel free to check that out, you guys.
It's been a little quiet about it. I'm kind of surprised, as Hush is one of my faves. So
Ivan Soto is telling me that Superman Man of Tomorrow is not. Oh no! Did he just erase that? Did you find out that he's saying no? He's saying it isn't from the comics. It's an original concept.
Yeah, I didn't.
I could have sworn that was something that was done before. Well, either way, if that's the art for it, I'm on board. I dig it.
Okay.
Looks good.
He digs it.
Give me some Kal-El. Deborah Snyder commends Snyder Cut fans for the efforts towards suicide prevention.
Release the Snyder Cut. I mean, if we're going to keep up with this release the Snyder Cut, at least we can do it for a great cause, right? Because they don't seem to be going anywhere. Apparently, they raised over $106,000 for suicide awareness and prevention.
This is smart, guys. It's
unbelievable.
It's an incredible thing that you've done. And let this be a lesson to rabid fandom everywhere. You know, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. And if you're raising a good cause, this makes the Snyders really happy because they suffered the tragedy of suicide within their own family. Also, speaking a little like, Machiavellian here, like you're putting Warner Brothers in a position where they kind of look like dicks
if they don't
release it and they keep raising money for suicide prevention. Ooh, yeah. It's clever, but also it leads to a good cause, so I can get behind it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Right?
I know. Can't even help it. In the most recent way to raise money, they did a hashtag release the Snyder Cut Comic-Con t-shirt. And that raised them $1,400. Project Comic-Con raised them $14,000. All the Gods raised them $82,000. $1,000-ish from Release the Snyder Cut banner flight. Just tons of different things that they did to get to that point. And Deborah said, "We are so touched by how much these amazing people have raised for suicide awareness and prevention, awestruck and humbled. Hashtag Zack Snyder, hashtag AFSP."
Yes.
Which is American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. So
wonderful.
Yep.
Casey Nwaneri, James Gunn, Legion of Superheroes, which would be kind of cool because it would be like Guardians of the Galaxy, basically, like way deep in the future with like Superboy and Brainiac 5 and all that kind of thing. That would definitely be crazy. And the cool thing about that is you would definitely not need to tie it to any other continuity. You put it so far in the future, it doesn't matter. I actually like that. That's a smart way to go. We have
so much stuff in my favorite time.
So that's movies, guys. We're going to try to get in as much about...
It's time
form of TV time. What do I do? Like throw TV
The
time?
Donner Snyder Cut is like the Donner Cut. Yeah, it is. Like if you ever get it, it's not going to be like complete. It's going to be like the best approximation. I agree. Roxy Striar, what's going on in the world of TV? Not that much?
So many things. So many things. Let's start with some Watchmen stuff. Adam, you checked out that Watchmen trailer?
I thought it was amazing.
I am so obsessed with this.
Sorry.
It's not even funny. Do you think that this has the potential to win more hearts than the movie?
I do. I flat out do. Listen, Leftovers was really well received. This is the Leftovers Lindelof, not the Lost Lindelof, although it's the same guy. He's just getting better and better.
And I loved Lost, too.
I do, too. Also, there are comments from like Dave Gibbons talking about that this is a fresh take. Obviously, Alan Moore wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah, so I know that you were not surprised by this FU Alan Moore situation.
I say to all those who would try to create my work, I want nothing to do with any of this.
So why weren't you surprised in what exactly happened here, Adam?
Well, I wasn't surprised that Alan Moore wants nothing to do with it because he doesn't want any of his work touched by anyone else ever. No exceptions, nothing. He doesn't want to know about it. He doesn't want to do it. He also doesn't even want to do comics anymore. As far as I understand, he's like a part-time college professor.
He's a dark wizard and a lord of the dark magics.
That's a new voice that I haven't heard from you.
It's Alan Moore. It's actually not my impression. It's James Adomian's great impression. If you're not listening to The Underculture, James Adomian's really funny podcast, I recommend you do. I think it looks great. Dave Gibbons seemed very optimistic about the approach. He's, of course, the artist for the original Watchmen. He also said he was not a fan of the prequel or post-Watchmen universe stuff, but he did think this looks good. So that qualifies, and he gets paid from all that, I would imagine.
That's really nice. And more Watchmen news, Robert Redford to play President Robert Redford in Watchmen. Thoughts on this, Adam Gertler?
Yeah, well, I mean, let me see. Who was the president in the original comics? Was it Nixon that was still president?
Yes.
And then they did that in the movie too, right? I love it. Robert Redford's going to play Robert Redford in The Watchmen, and Robert Redford has like retired from acting. And then he showed up in Endgame.
So how do you think they pitched this to him? Do you think that just on the title alone, or do you think they had to explain why this would be great?
Robert Redford is like, he started the Sundance Film Festival. Like,
yeah.
He doesn't suffer fools. Like, he wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't good, I feel like.
I agree.
I don't know how they pitched him. I don't know. Somebody has to be close to Redford.
And it's me. Spoiler alert. I pitched him. Let's move forward to talk about...
I'm sure he's not in it a lot, by the way.
Yeah, I doubt it. Let's talk a little bit about our CW shows, because we have a lot of information that has come out in the Arrowverse, on Crisis on Infinite Earths, and what's going to be happening here. We hear that Brandon Routh is going to be coming back, not as the Atom, but as Superman, which is really interesting. Burt Ward is going to be making an appearance as well. We know him as Robin, of course, and possibly Linda Carter connections.
As an older Wonder Woman?
We already have Linda Carter on the Supergirl show in the same way that we have Brandon Routh as Adam, but maybe as something different. Also, I've heard rumors about Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher, who have also made appearances in the CW verse, but could be coming back as Lois and Clark. So there's so many different, some things confirmed, some things rumor. Of course, we've got speculation about Smallville casting also coming in.
Tom
Doom
Welling,
Patrol,
right?
Doom Patrol, Titans. What are we going to do with them?
DCEU?
Could we get Lucifer? We have so many different options here. It's going to be a 5-part Crisis crossover. Batwoman. So, I mean, tons of things here. What is the number one thing you would be most excited about, Adam, if they were including it in Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Well, I'll say that while a lot of this sounds incredibly exciting, there's so much to do in just a couple of movies. I feel like it's all going to be like what we got from John Wesley Shipp in The Flash last year, which was not a lot. Couple of lines. Unfortunately, I don't think any of these characters are going to be given like a lot of story. It's going to be they're coming across. I'm most excited to see Brandon Routh in the Superman suit again, because I feel like he, didn't have a great movie to work in. He was great. He always seems to have a great attitude. I like him a lot. I love that he became the Atom on the show, and I'm most excited for that. I also do love the idea of like Burt Ward in some kind of older Robin costume. Feels very Dark Knighty. Tyler Hoechlin is going to also be Superman on this as well, but Brandon Routh is going to be more the Kingdom Come darker Superman. I mean,
which we know based off
great.
of his shirt that he ripped open, which was awesome.
Yeah.
On the Comic-Con stage.
The thing I want to know most is what's going to happen, because the original Crisis on Infinite Earths was
Oliver Queen is going to die. That's what's going to happen.
Well, that's definitely going to happen.
You think so?
But is this going to merge the worlds? Because we always talk about how much we love the multiverses, but the Crisis was meant to merge them, right?
Yes, and also the fact that Black Lightning has never appeared in any of these either as on a different Earth. So merge. I think this will give them more room to play if they do merge, because then moving forward we can do more pop-ins. Because right now, remember, Supergirl's not on the same Earth as Flash or Arrow. So and neither is Black Lightning. And so therefore Batwoman's not on the same Earth as Black Lightning either. There's just so many different places. If we merge, we can do pop-ins.
Do you think they will?
I don't know.
I mean,
I would like to think yes, because I think it's the smarter thing to do.
Yeah. I think you got to merge the worlds. I think it's one thing to have all these great guest stars, but the reason I've fallen off a lot of these CW shows anymore is I just don't feel the stakes. I don't feel big things happening and moving the continuity, and that's what we like as fans of this kind of genre stuff. We want to see world building and world evolving, and when the shows just kind of feel the same and it's so long before anything of import happens, it just, you kind of tune out because there's other stuff going on to watch.
Agreed. I want to head to our chat to see what they're thinking about Crisis / the Arrowverse, which we're going to have to find a new name for very soon. Jay just says we need more Linda Carter as Wonder Woman. Matthew says LOL, while that won't happen, I think talking about the worlds merging. Talking about Daniel saying he thinks that we should have been a full half season length. The crossover should be a half season, which would be kind of crazy because we also don't know, is this going to be the end of Arrow or is Arrow going to come back for a couple episodes after the crossover? I'd be curious to see that. Matthew Leach says Black Lightning won't be a part of the Crisis. I completely disagree. I think that would be such a missed opportunity for them if he's not there at all. That would be just so wild. So, and Ivan Soto wants to know, Adam, about Swamp Thing.
Yes.
What do you think?
What about
actually, he's asking why did
Daniel Cassidy turn back?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
turn back into a human after he became Blue Devil. But I'm curious, do you think that they would put Swamp Thing in the Crisis crossover?
No, definitely not.
You don't think so?
No, 100% not.
In the way that they've taken Constantine, plucked him, and moved him in?
I don't think so, because they seem to like really be hard and fast about canceling this leg of it. I feel like it hasn't been like with the Constantine thing where we're shopping it around. I don't know. Nothing would make me happier, believe me, than this version of Swamp Thing cameoing in the Crisis, but I do not see it happening. As far as Ivan Soto's question, why Steve Sanders turned back into Daniel Cassidy after becoming the Blue Devil, I think if that doesn't happen in the comics and he stays permanently Blue Devil, I think the reason is because they're intended to do more with this Blue Devil character on Swamp Thing. And when you have Ian Ziering, Steve Sanders, you're going to use him in his bodily form. But wasn't that Blue Devil scene freaking fire on episode 9 of Swamp Thing? Can you believe there's only one more episode? It sucks. We had a like an F, marry, kill almost of the 3 original DC Universe shows. It was really actually, if you could just keep one, which would you keep? Of Titans, Doom Patrol, and Swamp Thing. And I love them all.
Yeah, mine's Doom Patrol, though. Gotta
that you would keep?
Yes, and speaking of which, Doom Patrol is being kept. They're getting a second season, but some strange things are happening here because...
What's confusing? What's strange?
It is going to be on DC Universe.
Right.
But it's also going to be on HBO Max.
I thought all HBO is on HBO Max.
I don't know if that is the case. And this is not HBO. This is DCU.
Yeah.
But
no, it's on HBO Max too. What's so confusing? I don't see why you can't follow this.
Really? Are you being
I'm confused.
facetious?
I'm facetious. I'm confused as hell. I feel like they're still kind of like jerking us along and slowly winding down DC Universe.
DC Universe is still going to exist even though there's HBO Max, but then what's on HBO Max? It's original series.
Okay, I think I do. As I talk about it, it does make sense because they're going to get a lot more people to subscribe to HBO Max than DC Universe.
But are they saying you could have one or the other and get Doom Patrol?
Yes, that's what they're saying here. So it's almost like when Netflix does a co-production with the BBC, and BBC might air a production in England, but Netflix gets the like exclusive rights internationally.
But I can't watch BBC.
But you can watch DC Universe. So it's almost
That's what I'm saying. I can watch both HBO Max and DC Universe. Aren't they splitting their own views?
No. Because think about it. If you're subscribing to DC Universe, right, maybe you're not going to pay the extra $15 for HBO Max. You're still going to get your Doom Patrol because you are that dedicated DC fan.
But if I can get every single thing that's on DC Universe on HBO Max, then I am not paying for DC Universe.
But I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can.
Right.
Is it confirmed that Titans is going to be on HBO Max?
No.
It's not confirmed.
No.
And Young Justice and Stargirl and the comics and all that.
Because I don't think Titans is necessarily the second season will be, HBO Max will even be up and running yet.
No. Probably not.
So I think that's why.
So I think for now, they're saying DC Universe is not being affected, but when it comes to like the budget and cost, I think they feel like Doom Patrol maybe has enough crossover because it's so bizarre. It's not really like, a lot of other superhero shows out there, and it's been so lauded with praise. I think it's almost like it's like a loss leader, or that's not the right term, but it's like what's helping pay for it is essentially the fact that HBO Max is going to get a lot of eyeballs on it, and it's a co-production almost under its own banner.
Okay. Still confusing to me. Let's jump back to the Arrowverse for a second because we've got some more Supergirl news.
Oh my God.
Yo, this was the dopest outfit.
I looked at it for the first time today.
They released an outfit, a new Supergirl costume, and she got herself some pants. She's wearing the pants in this relationship, and holy crap, do I think that this outfit is unreal. Adam, what are your thoughts?
I'm really behind on the show Supergirl, so if anybody in the chat roll knows what's up. Oh, you're caught up.
Yeah.
So is this going to be revealed in Crisis, or is there something happening right now? Like, do you see I feel like it would be a crisis reveal. Am I crazy?
I think it probably will happen before that, based on everything that was happening with Lex Luthor towards the end. She's got to kind of, I don't know, it's a big pivotal moment for her growing, changing. I don't know how she gets the suit, though. Maybe she's got to call Cisco.
It's the new season premiere with the suit?
I think maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense. As much as I'd like to see it.
Because how would they have this already if it was for Crisis?
Well, here's the thing. Supergirl famously is the big death in Crisis on Infinite Earths. There's the famous picture of Kal-El
I know,
holding
but there's
the Supergirl.
no way.
But imagine if they
no
did
way.
that and she doesn't die. She just comes back in this dope-ass outfit, and it's actually Arrow that dies. Because like, they're going to do that image. I think, although, didn't they do it on the last Crisis?
With who?
What was the crossover called last year? Wasn't it like...
Wow, what was it called?
It was like another Crisis, right?
Yeah, it was. What was it called? You guys know. You guys let us know in the chat. I forget what it was called. It was the 3-parter.
What was the last
weren't in
DC
it.
crossover called?
Hoping that Ryan lets us know in like relatively soon, in like maybe 3. Two.
Boochtron says in the Comic-Con trailer she had her old costume on in some stuff.
Elseworlds.
Yes.
Thank you,
Looks
Ivan.
like Lena is going to give her the old one too. So I'm hearing Jor-El has been revealed in Krypton.
I'm just thinking how we're going to make this work.
What?
Well, we have multiple Supermans.
Where? In this one?
Well, we've got Tyler, and now we've got Brandon,
and maybe Tom Welling.
Yeah, all my wheels are spinning about.
I'm thinking Christopher Reeve might show up. Like, I feel like it's going to be some kind of, like, image. Like, you're not going to see actors from the DCU.
Henry Cavill?
Yeah, but you might see an image of Cavill.
This is the next time that we see Henry Cavill.
Will be in Crisis, I believe.
That would be crazy. Okay. Anyway, that is our TV news. There was so much stuff going on.
No, she did. Right. No, she died in the Crisis on Infinite Earths, though. She did die.
Are you fighting with yourself right now?
I guess so.
All right.
I don't know.
That's a good talk. Adam, get us out of here.
Okay, guys. Wow, this was a lot of fun. I can't remember the last time we had so much actual new stuff to talk about.
I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of news next week, too.
A lot of news next week coming up. This is the time. You're in the place. That is DC Movie News on the Popcorn Talk Network. I am Adam Gertler. You can find me all places at Adam Gertler. I am not just a comic book nerd. I also like to talk about all things food, movies. I'm thinking about joining the Yang Gang. We can talk about that.
I'm Roxy Striar. You guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar. Also, Screen Junkies on Fridays and Collider Live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday nights. The Tomorrow Show with Kevin Undergaro and Roxy Striar, and all over AfterBuzz TV as well.
Don't forget to check out Mike Kalinowski at Mike Kalinowski.
That's true.
And
Oh
Jonny
my God,
LoQuasto.
Jake Quasto is killing it right now.
Is he?
Yes.
Killing it in the
Slay.
WWE?
Yes. Oh my God, I'm so happy for him.
God bless Jay Quasto. Check him out and his wrestling ways. We'll see you next time on DC Movie News.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.